what's up? Kevlin here, and today I am going to be looking at this tier list again, but instead of going off of whatever I did last time, I'm going off of usefulness. So how do they do in battle? I am gonna let you know right now, I am a very casual player. I usually keep permadeath off. I want to get to know all the people. I just play for fun. And of course, any unit can be good depending on your playstyle and how much time you sink into them. But let's see. I have played as all of these playable characters. I have recruited and or played their route. And as for NPCs, I'm going to go off of how much trouble they gave me. So, starting with Byleth. They have platinum armor, so they are going to be S tier because no matter how bad you want to be, you'll probably be able to squeak by. Edelgard. I'm going to give her an A just because every single time... Oh, those are terrifying. Every time I fight against her, the only thing you really need is any kind of armor slayer weapon or a sword user that hits really hard like Felix or, Byleth. Yeah, she's also the only house leader that I played as on their route where she did die more than once. So that's kind of inconvenient. Dimitri is an S tier. He's never died on me. Okay, he's died on me, I think, once, and that was it. He's done pretty well otherwise. He's also just an extremely broken unit. Once you kind of get out, right, I don't know, every single time I played his route, once you get past the Battle of Eagle and Lion, there's basically just no stopping him. Obviously, after the time skip, he's completely broken. I've pretty much soloed entire maps with just him and maybe a healer. He doesn't really need it. His defenses are pretty good. Let's see. Claude. I think I'm going to put him in A as well. The only thing that holds him back from being S is he is a flying unit. Oh, why are these dresses so expensive? Sweet lord. Sorry, these ads are certainly something else. Okay, cool. They are gone for now. So, I know that weapons triangle and stuff like that isn't exactly a thing in Three Houses, but I still feel like flying units are very subject to arrows. Yes, I'm aware that's not part of the weapons triangle, but I'm just going to put that out there. Hubert. Let's see. He's a very steady unit, but he hasn't had a very high crit rate. Ferdinand. Oh, that's adorable. Probably a B. I honestly didn't use him too much. I know he's like the main lance and sword user, I guess, but I don't know why I didn't use him. I just didn't. Linhart, he's better than I thought he would be, but he's not great. Casper is someone I want to rank higher because he's always training and saying that he's going to be the best, but he's not that good. He's not the best brawler, and he's okay with an axe, but if you compare him to like Dedu or Raphael, it doesn't really work. Bernadetta, she's one of those characters I really wanted to see if I could build her up to be a one-hit wonder, and it did actually work, but it took so long I don't think I would do it again. Dorothea, she's someone I was able to recruit on pretty much every single one of my routes, and I just never used her. I just didn't want to kill her. She's alright. There's better mages, though. Petra, she's someone, she does have a very high crit rate, and she's pretty good, but her defenses are just really, really low. So when I'm playing on the Black Eagles route, when I need someone who's powerful with better defenses, I usually would just bring Edelgard. I used her more than Casper, but less than Bernadette. I'm just going to put her here because there's too many people in B right now. Dedu, he's someone who has obviously excellent defenses. I feel like his strength is still, it's not anywhere near as high as his defenses. I'm going to put him here. I should have started off with this, but I am going off of just 3 houses. I'm not going off of heroes or 3 hopes. Just because not all of these guys are in heroes, and I haven't played as all of them in 3 hopes. Felix. Felix is an S. He's pretty good from the beginning and all the way to the end, and he's hard to recruit in other paths, but recruiting him is definitely worth it. Ash is someone I wish I could rank a lot higher. He started out really strong for me, especially since he was my only archer, available. But as soon as I recruited, Bernadetta or Ignatz, and obviously then we have Shamir, unfortunately, he just kind of had to take a back seat, so I'm going to put him here. Sylvain is someone also I wanted to see if it would work, but it just didn't. His luck and his strength were just not doing too well. He was taking every single hit and doing minimal amount of damage back. I'm going to put him here. Mercedes, she's a weird one. She's not really a fighter. But I did use her quite a lot. I used her as my main healer and my dancer. But as far as combat, she's not that good. I am going to put her here because she's useful in other ways. Annette, she's either a high B or a low A. The only thing is, as most mages do, I used her as a mage. I know she's supposed to use an axe or whatever, but she has very low defenses. So I can't exactly put her on the front lines. Usually I have to put her behind Didu or partner her up with Felix just to make sure she doesn't get blown into the next dimension. Let's see. I'm going to put her in B right next to Mercedes. Ingrid, she's another one just like Caspar. She's always practicing and she wants to be a knight and she holds herself to really high expectations, but every time I bring her into battle, whether it's on foot, on horseback, or on Pegasus, she dies. So I'm going to put her here. Alright, Lorenz. I didn't know he was a mage. I know he went to the School of Sorcery with the same one that Mercedes and Annette went to. But I didn't know he was a mage until later, and then I thought it was kind of sad that he couldn't use magic on horseback or use lances or something as a mage or vice versa or something. I thought that was really weird because I know that Yaritza can use magic and be on horseback and use lances, so I didn't understand that. So I'm going to put him here because once I finally started switching his classes around, it was just kind of a waste of a test. Raphael. He's pretty good, especially early game. He's pretty much unstoppable. If you don't have Dimitri, I would definitely go with Raphael. The only problem is I feel after the time skip, he's not as good. I call it the expiration date. A lot of characters in games, especially games with multiple characters like Fire Emblem, it's like an expiration date. Whether you keep them alive or not, they just kind of hit their wall and they're like, I don't really feel like it. Why don't you ask me later? And then by then you just start replacing them. So I feel like that's kind of his problem. Probably in C. Ignatz is someone I was very surprised by. I remember when I first started bringing him, it was really late game in Claude's route, I think. Or was it Edelgard's route? They were in the underground city where those who slither in the dark live, and you needed to get into that last room where there's a key or something, and I just plunked him down there to guard it because I didn't know you needed a key, and he took out every single one of those people with critical hits, and I was very surprised. So after that, I started recruiting him on every single one of my routes. I don't know if I would say he's an A, but he's probably a B. He's definitely someone that he wouldn't be on my front lines, but he would definitely be a runner-up in the second group. Lysithea is someone I didn't recruit in my first playthrough because I did Dimitri's route. So of course when I saw all these videos and memes popping up about her, I was like, well, let's try it out. So when I finally got her, I put her in front of all the horse units with her spells and stuff like that, and it went alright. She needed healing just because she's a mage. She needs that extra boost. And then I put her in front of the Death Knight and she got obliterated as soon as he looked at her. Yeah, as far as mages go, I would probably bring either one of these three right here, or even teach Bernadetta magic. She's not half bad. I don't think I'd put her in C. The only reason I put her in C is because I just don't know her well enough, honestly. I know more about her socially than battle-wise. Marianne, someone else I didn't get to know very well because I didn't recruit her either in most of my first playthroughs. The first time I got to know her, just like Lysithea, was the first time I played Claude's route. And it took a really long time to get her out of her shell. Maybe it's just kind of the first playthrough stigma. I knew what Mercedes Internet could do, so I went out to recruit them. I didn't use Marianne much. I think I made her my dancer, though. See? Okay. Here's another one that I got a lot about is Hilda's, like, super overpowered and stuff like that. And I feel like this is most axe users, not even just in Three Houses, but in Fire Emblem in general. They hit really hard, but they have such a low hit rate. Hilda never hit any of those. She's kind of like Camilla for me in that sense, where this weapon can do like a ton of damage, but she just never lands any of her blows, and she's really weak to magic. And on top of her attitude, I know I didn't want to try to let that category taint this one, but I don't know if I want to say she's as bad as a D. I'm just going to put her here right now because I don't have anyone else in D. Leonie was someone I was really surprised by, but then again, it took forever to recruit her, so I'm glad that I did. She's an excellent lance user and an excellent archer, so she would if you have her and you don't have either Claude or Dimitri, she can be that person. So she basically replaced Ash and Ferdinand for me. I would actually put her in A. Sedith is someone I was pleasantly surprised by. When I first saw him, I was like, oh, I'm going to be joining you, and I'm going to be joining the fight. I'm like, okay, well, what weapon would you use? For some reason, I thought he was either going to be a mage or an axe user, but he was a flying lance user, which was very surprising, but he was very good at it. And so anytime I'm able to recruit him, I definitely do. And anytime I see him on the opposite team, I make sure I definitely get rid of him because he will destroy you from the inside out. He's going to go right there. And on the polar opposite end of that is Flayn. I wanted to like her. I wanted to make her feel like she was useful and prove to Sedith that she would be able to take care of herself. I don't know how she managed to survive all those battles back then, but she's gonna go here. Hanneman. Someone else I was very surprised by. It was kind of like the Ignat story. I forgot where I brought him. I think it might have been the reunion on the same field, the cutscenes that we all saw. I brought him for that. And he got separated from the group by a bunch of Pegasus riders, and he destroyed every single one of them. So I started recruiting him and bringing him everywhere. He's right there. Alright, Manuela is someone I thought, well, maybe if Hanneman's good, she'll be good too. She's a pretty good magic user, like a healer, but other than that, she's not that good. Yeah, Marianne's better than her. Gilbert is someone I honestly had no idea who he was. I knew he was a part of the staff at the church, and he was somehow related to the kingdom, so when he just kind of spawned in after the time skip on Dimitri's route, I was like, who are you? But I decided to try him out, and he was pretty good, actually. It took a little slow going, but once he started gaining a few levels, he was pretty much unstoppable, so I'm going to stick him here. Alois, I wanted to use him. I wanted to use him more and see more of him, but he's not that good, especially when you have like other axe users and brawlers like Raphael or Edelgard. He's not that good. I don't know if I'd say he's bad. Like his hit rate is a lot higher than Hilda's, but he's a lot weaker than her. Even with the gauntlets, it definitely raises his hit rate, but he's not as strong as even if I say gave Lorenz those. I guess he's going to be a D. Alright, Catherine I feel like is an obvious S. Besides her hero's relic, if you give her any other weapon, that person that you put her against, there's no point. They might as well just give up and just let the earth reclaim them. Same thing with Shamir. Cyril is another character that I've seen. No one likes him socially, but he can be a pretty good battle unit. I have tried so many times to use this kid. It takes him so long. Like, I got him, and he just kind of sat there, and then after the time skip, he leveled up or whatever, or he just wasn't any good. I was very disappointed. Gerald, in Three Houses, we never played as him, and we never fought against him. So I'm just going to stick him. B is like super neutral right there because he's not bad. Rhea. Where's Saros? Isn't she on this list? There she is. Rhea, I don't think you see her fight, and you technically fight against her and her by battle unit because she's a dragon, but she was wearing that, wasn't she? I don't remember. I'm gonna just put Rhea in B because I don't think you fight her head on. You fight Saros, who's also a dragon. I think I might be wrong because at the end of Edelgard's route when they're in Dimitri's kingdom, she's like, address me as Saros, and she's still wearing the little dragon helmet thing instead of the taco helmet. I don't know. Anyways, Sothis, you never play as her and you never fight her. C B. Kranya. I just finished playing Azure Gleam, and I know that's not related. Well, kind of. She's so much harder in Three Houses than in Three Hopes. You just sneeze on her in Three Hopes and she's gone. But even in Three Houses, she's not that good. Is she a bigger threat than some of these guys? No, her crit rate is pretty low compared to, say, some of these other people. Both of these guys, I still think they look kind of similar. They weren't that bad. They were just really hard to get to because they were hidden behind a wall of crap. Same thing with you. You weren't that hard, but you had a bunch of mechs and lasers and brainwashed people. Once we actually got to you, Dimitri just kind of looked at you funny, and that was it. The Death Knight. I'm going to stick him here. Because when I first got him, I was like, okay, so he uses magic and lances. But it turns out he can use pretty much everything, and I guess that's why they made him the weapons instructor at the school. So I gave him pretty much everything, and my second playthrough, Edelgard's route, he basically one-man the entire final map by himself. You see those memes and those jokes like the boss when you play against them versus fight against them versus when you play as them. I was kind of expecting it to be one of those, but I was surprisingly wrong, and so that was fun. Costas. He's the first boss. You can't really get any more generic than that. D. Lenato. I actually had trouble bringing him down, but I think that's just because he's one of the first guys you fight, and he's like, has a legitimate army with him. I'm gonna put him in C. Miklon. He found a loophole because he turned himself into a monster. Because everyone else in that hideout he was with didn't really cause a problem. He was obviously the main attraction, should I say. I'm going to put him here. Randolph. I remember how he dies, but I don't remember fighting him. So I guess that just shows that. Flame Emperor. Not the best. Because, again, armored unit. And they're also really weak to magic. They just become... Armored units and magic just become little toasters. I don't think they're as bad as a D, but I don't think they're as good as these guys up here. I'm going to put you in C. Anna, she's not that good. I gave her all of her old equipment, like swords and bows and axes and healing stuff that all the other Annas have had, and she's just... I was very disappointed. I feel like these are the same person, so that you go there. Rodrigue. We never, in Three Houses at least, we never get to play as him. And I don't remember fighting against him. I think we did. I think he was in the final part where Rhea was like, let's just burn down the kingdom. And Catherine's like, no, we can't just burn down innocent civilians. And Rhea's like, I don't care, we're just going to make a barbecue and no one can stop me. I think he was a part of that. I don't remember. So, there we go. Now, if this was a Three Hopes list, he would definitely not be at the bottom. He'd be somewhere else. Judith. She's actually pretty good. We got to see her fight. At least my most memorable part with her is when the same chapter where Dedue comes back in Dimitri's route. She's there, I think, and she's holding her own pretty well. I'm going to put her here. Same thing with Nader. Going to put him... Actually, I don't think we see him fight, do we? I don't remember. I know we don't get to play as him. So, I'm going to put him in B. No. I'm putting him in B, and it makes it look like he's better than these other guys, but B is like right in the middle, so this is like the most neutral. I might go back and rearrange some of these. Monica, we see you, but we never play as you, so I don't know what you can do. You are a pain in my butt, and I don't want to ever see you again, but he's pretty formidable. I'm going to put him in A. You're an NPC. You're technically him, but you yourself don't fight. Should I put him here or here? I'm going to leave him in B. Nemesis, besides having a really good defense, he's not that hard to get rid of. B. Oh, where should I stick him? I'm just going to put him in... I'm going to put him in B. You are also a... I'm going to put you in A. Just the only reason you're getting points for A is because you can turn into a dragon. Other than that, every other time I've seen you, Byleth or Yuritsa just kind of lightly tapped your shoulder and you just kind of imploded. You're another... Is there another way I can add a tick mark to this and just put characters that don't fight? Because I feel weird putting him in B, but I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I don't really know any history about him. I don't remember hearing like, oh, he used to be a great warrior or anything. Same with you? Do we fight you? I don't remember. You're going in B. You are a D. You're just a pain in my butt every time I see you. And you're pretty easy to get rid of. You're also a B. I'd want to put you in A just because I know you have a better history. But again, we never play as you or fight against you. You're just a pain in my butt. No, you're a pain in my butt. You go here. And then you go here. Yeah, we'll put you here. I didn't know who this was. For some reason, the only reason I remember who he is because he was known as the Gray Lion, and I thought that was funny because he was part of the kingdom where the Blue Lions came from. But that's about it. You're a pain in my butt. You also go here. These are all the time skip people. I'm basically just lumping all these people together as from beginning of game to end of game. Time skip included in all the odds and ends. Balthus, I really wanted to rate him higher, considering he's like, I'm the king of grappling, and I'm always going to be ready for a fight, but he's not. He's one of the only grapplers that I have that actually misses, like, half of the 4 shots that he takes. Constant, she's a glass cannon. Like, yeah, I mean, like most mages are, but, like, there's a special place for her. I don't think she's as bad as a D. Once you get her off the Pegasus, the flying part aspect of it, that's taken off. But she's not great. Happy is a lot more steady. Sure, she doesn't have the strongest, like, level ups, but she's steady enough where I can work with her and kind of learn her quirks. I don't think she's an A. Yuri is going to be right behind her just because he's so versatile, but he's like a jack of all trades and master of none. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, let me see if I want to shuffle anyone around. I feel really bad putting these 4 right here, but I don't think they're quite A tier. I think the only thing I would change is characters that we don't know enough about, like we don't play as them or play against them or it just wasn't that memorable. Anyways, that is my usefulness chart. If I do another one of these, it will be on outfit and I will rank all of the people on this list, even these guys down here, which I just have left alone for a while. I will be ranking them, and I would totally be down to do a 3 hopes list version of this as well, if there is one, and when I finish all of the routes, I don't know when that will be, but I would totally be down to do that. So, take a good long look, maybe check this out yourself. I'll link it down in the description, and you guys have a amazing day.